Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Lee Brown, and I'm here today with Anne Deakter. She is a life coach, she's a speaker, she's an author. She published a book in 2018 called You Aren't Here to Be Good, You're Here to Be Better: How to Reclaim Hope, Purpose, and Fulfillment in a World Gone Crazy. And I am really looking forward to sharing her story with you. And I'll let you go ahead and say whatever you'd like to say, Anne, and we'll go back and forth and just see where we want to go with this.
Well, thank you so much, Heather, for having me. We were talking about my favorite subject, so that's good stuff. And definitely in a world gone crazy, who would have thought when I came up with that title 2 years ago, my editor looked at me and thought I was absolutely insane for picking that last phrase. And I just, something inside of me said, it just fits. So everyone has challenges. As long as we're alive and breathing, everyone will have challenges. But there's a way to work through them and live through them so that we can thrive and learn and grow. And I think that's been the hardest challenge for most people is that they're not born with an instruction manual and they don't have the tools. And I decided after all the challenges I had been through, I was going to share the tools that I learned along the way. So that's how I find myself here. This is a 26-year long journey and finally able to share it with the masses and so that other people don't have to go. You have to go through the challenge, you have to go through the learning, but it can be mitigated. And that's what excites me the most is that I wanted to give people a step-by-step formula so that they knew that they had hope, that they could get through the challenge to the other side and grow and transform into the better version of themselves. So that's where we're at.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be sharing a lot of stories today. Anne and I have very similar backgrounds. We both have had our lives come crashing down, and we obviously both had to learn things the hard way. And what we're trying to express today to everyone watching, or anyone who knows someone that's going through a difficult time in 2018, I went through my experience 8 years ago, and it sounds like went through her experience a lot. Um, she's definitely a lot more of a pioneer than I am. So we're going to just dig into our different experiences that we had that brought us to this point in our lives where we can help so many people with coaching, with the tools that we've created for ourselves and that we can share with others.
For sure.
And I know from my own experience that for me, it felt like I was walking through fire.
Mm.
When I went through my experience, I had so much happening at one time, and it was pretty frightening. So now to be standing here 8 years later, having lived through a lot of the same experiences that you went through with your life, with relationships, with work, with trying to figure out what you wanted to do with your life when everything fell apart. What would you like to share? I know you went through a lot of education and a lot of experience. Do you want to share anything about the people you've coached with and different people along the way, or what would you like to share?
I think, Heather, now that we're talking, it's so funny. It brings it all to the forefront. Um, Yesterday, for example, I was coaching a beautiful young lady who she has a big challenge with getting in touch with her inner feelings. And it just reminded me when I would ask her how did she feel about something, she goes, "Well, I don't know. I don't remember." A lot of us will distract, will submerge things so that we don't have to deal with them until that's no longer a choice. So I'm sure with your wake up calls, it happened and you pushed and pushed and suppressed until you couldn't anymore. So that's where it all begins. It begins with that point of no return, where the pain is so intense, where you've reached rock bottom and you have nowhere to go but up. Now, in that place, I call it the moment zero. In that place of moment zero, I was very lucky that I was able to choose to go up, because then you can also choose to be a monumental victim and just lie there in the pity pot for aeons until you die. I mean, we see that as well. But the pain was so intense. Somehow there was hope. Somehow there was a feeling that if I could just find something, hold on to something, that I would be able to get through to the other side. It all started when I was around 26 and my dad came to visit me and he died in my house. And I had to tell my family members and I had to ship his body back home. And that was the first time I remembered that no way was I going to live someone else's life. No way was I going to settle for mediocrity. That wasn't going to happen. I was going to live my life, but I didn't know what that life was. I knew I had this greater than purpose, like we all do. We all have a purpose, we all have a mission, but I had no clue what it was. Just that aching, empty hole within that kept nudging at me and saying, you're here to do something, you're here to do something, you're here to do something. So I figured that if I was going through all of these challenges, maybe it had to be part of that. That if I could get through these challenges, then somehow they would be related to my life's purpose, my mission, my calling, whatever. And that's exactly what happened. And the story is even more beautiful as I'm looking back. And yeah, it's really terrible. My dad died so young at 52. But my dad taught me such an incredible lesson. He always wanted to be a vet. And what happened was when he met my mom when they were very young, his dad said to him, I'll pay for you to go to vet school, but I won't support you in a marriage. If you decide to get married, then you're going to have to support your family. So it's either get married or go become a vet, but you can't have both. So I guess different times, different lives, who knows? Those were choices they made. So my father chose to marry my mom, but that burning desire to be a vet, to be in the animal space, never left him, because there are pictures of me at 1 and 2 years old riding horses. My father couldn't let go of that dream, and he bought a horse, then he bought the second horse, and he boarded those horses outside of the city where we lived. And then as the city grew and the farm sold the land, now it was like, what am I going to do with these 2 horses? You know, before he had it really, really easy. He would come home. It was a 15-minute drive to the farm. He'd drive, come home, and he could have the best of both worlds. But now it was an hour drive, and it was not possible. So I remember when I was 8 years old, my father said, you know what, this drive, this desire to be this healer, I can't let go of it. It's who I am. It's part of my mission and calling in this life. Guess what, family? Pick up. We're all moving to a farm. So when I was 8 years old, my father picked us all up, moved us to a farm, moved the horses, and he drove back and forth to the city, left us on the farm for the next 8 years. But this was his way of compensating. And then when I was 16, my mother said to him, okay, darling, that's it. It's enough. Your daughter has to go to college. We need to go back to the city. I don't want to put her in dorms. You've lived your dream. Let's go. Enough. Our family has sacrificed enough for this dream. So we went back to the city. And again, that calling was so huge. What did he do? He went and he bought a pet store. He couldn't run away from his calling. And the point of sharing this story is only now, looking back years later, is I see the power of that calling. If you don't live it, you can suppress it for as many years as you want. But whether you live your calling in this lifetime, death will not eradicate it. You will come back in another lifetime, and you will still have to live that calling. So don't you think it would be better if we could like get it right and then really enjoy the benefits of it? Because when you finally connect with that life calling and that life purpose, what happens? Then the sky is the limit. Then you can attract to you, and I think you'll agree with me being a relationship coach, you will then attract to you the soulmate, your ultimate level soulmate that vibrates with you at that level. You will attract to you your ultimate career. You will attract to you your ultimate friends, your ultimate calling, your ultimate opportunities to share and do charity works and etc. So the life, you start living your life on a really authentic and ultimate level. Now, if somebody would have told me that when I was younger, probably would have poo-pooed it all, because we're all here living a life of materialism and consumerism and ego and status, and we want to look good and feel good and we want it now. But this work is a lifelong journey, and this is something I try to impress upon all of my clients. It's not a race. This is your journey. And it's if you take an onion and it's layered, I mean, the life's purpose, your calling, your mission, you keep pulling back a layer, keep pulling back a layer, and another piece of it is revealed. So that's just a little bit of how I got to this point, and that's what gives me the power and the strength to keep going, to keep teaching this, to keep sharing it, because I know there's no greater feeling in the world when you're able to accomplish that calling and saying, I did it. I made it happen. I was the creator of my intended life. I am living my birthright and destiny. The feeling is, there are no words to express the high that you feel when you live your life's calling and purpose.
I can totally relate to that. That is so interesting. Thank you for sharing all of that. I totally understand what you're saying. I started out my life going to college to be a counselor, put my dreams off to help my husband to raise my children, and now everything's kind of coming back for me full circle. I had been told a couple years that I'm meant to be teaching and writing and doing all this, and I kept putting it off and putting it off. And now that I'm finally stepping out and doing this, all these people are coming forward and saying, okay, I need your help. I need coaching, because people get distracted. They don't know where to start. They feel overwhelmed. So that's where coaching comes in and is so helpful, because we can help people to create their dreams, to create transformation. And it's such an honor to do that. And I just am so grateful that we were able to connect today on this. And if you have any special stories you want to share about any clients, if you can, without too much information, or any of your own experience in speaking.
The one thing that I will share is there is a formula to living your life's true soul fulfillment. And it's based on a lot of ancient wisdom that we all know, but we've forgotten over the years. It's rather simple, and having someone point it out kind of helps, but there has to be desire. You have to be at that point, at that moment zero, where you really want to get the job done. So right now I'm coaching a beautiful young woman, a millennial, which I shared with you, and she has done the distracting, she has done the the affairs, the shopping, all of this stuff that we as human beings would rather do. For some reason, self-introspection and working on ourselves is like the kiss of death. For some reason, we just don't want to go there. It's too hard. But I'll tell you, there is a reason why we don't want to go there. And this is what people don't understand. So I think I'll share this, is that there are two forces in this universe. It's a force for good, I call it the good guy, and there's the force for not so good, and I call it the bad guy. And the bad guy's job, you can think of the bad guy as Murphy, whatever can't go wrong will go wrong, but the bad guy's job is to make sure that whatever we're involved in, and especially if we're involved in anything that's going to reveal light and goodness and positivity, his job is to put a kibosh on it, to make sure that we do not reveal light. And when we work on revealing our soul's true purpose, that reveals the most amount of light in the world. That there, in that pursuit, there's so much light to be revealed, and that's why the bad guy does whatever he can to keep us distracted, not focusing on it, going off on tangents, etc. So people have to know that, and that's why it's so hard to do this work, because the bad guy is pushing against us. No, don't want you revealing that light into the universe. Want you angry, sad, mad, depressed, on antidepressants, etc. Want to keep you there. Everything I can to keep you from revealing light, from living your life's true purpose. So that's why it becomes a real battle royale between the good guy and the bad guy. And you got to be that's why I also have a Facebook group called the Spiritual Woman Warrior, because you got to fight this. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to be pussies. Sorry, I don't know if we can say that on camera or not. All right, I don't care. But we're here to fight the fight against that bad guy. Not to pick up a gun, not to go hand-to-hand combat. It's like a fight in here between the good guy and the bad guy, right? I might age myself. Did you ever watch the Flintstones?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, do you remember the good guy and the bad guy, the little white devil on the shoulder and the little red cartoon devil, the white angel and the red devil, Fred and Barney, like going in Fred and Barney's ears, do this, do that, no, don't do that, do this. This is what we got going on. So that fight, part of the coaching and the work that I do with people is teaching them how to recognize, master the bad guy. Because the bad guy's not going away anywhere. As long as we're alive and breathing, that bad guy is there, but we need tools and strategies to know how to squish it down. Keep it quiet. So that we can explore and we can reveal light and we can connect with our soul's true purpose.
I totally agree with you. I know I've done all the distracting and all of that stuff over the years, and now that I'm to this point where things are just so, I still have my days, but for the most part, it's nothing like I had ever experienced in the past where, yeah, my bad guy on my shoulder was constantly telling me, no, you can't do this, you can't be happy all the time. You're limited. And
Correct.
now I feel unlimited. I've taken off the shackles and I've empowered myself. And so now here we are wanting to empower other people. And is there anything that you could say to someone who's thinking about, or who is at ground zero, or thinking about that feeling? Is there a calling inside of me that I'm putting off? What's the first step to get someone to challenge themselves to do this work that we've done?
The first step is just to choose, to make the choice to fight. That's the first step. I always counsel guys, you don't need to know exactly how to do it. You just need to make the choice. And once you make the choice, you align yourself with the universe, which is all about living your birthright and destiny, which is to be full of joy and abundance and health and wealth and divine inspiration and purpose and meaning. But you have to choose it. So it's just enough to say, I choose this, to know that it's a possibility. And once you make that choice, just the choice, it's as simple as verbalizing, using your words, right? When we have babies, use your words. When the babies will go, use your words. And how did our higher power create the universe? And God said, let there be. And God said, use your words to create. You don't have to know the whole system, the whole formula. There are people out there who know that. You just have to make the choice. And once you use the words and say, I choose to live my life's true purpose. I choose to live at my highest potential. then and you keep choosing it and choosing it, and if that's all you know and that's all you can do is choose it, then the right people will come into your life that can help you move forward with that. That's the biggest, biggest first step, is the choice.
Yep, that's very, very true. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I'm the type of person, once I decide I'm going to do something, I don't change my mind. I just go for it. And I'm not really sure what that is inside of me. If other people can to tap into that innate wisdom that we all have to just make the decision and get it done.
Just to choose, and to let the universe be your partner in providing you the guidance. We're not alone in this journey, and that's the biggest fallacy. Our ego, the bad guy, wants us to think that we're alone. You know, I always love to tell this story. My husband is a doctor, and when he goes to work on the car, he has a conversation with his higher power, and it goes like this: use me, use my brain, use my hands, use my heart, use my soul, use my caring, use everything you can. Use me as a channel through which you will heal through me. Acknowledging the universe as your partner on this journey. We can't do this alone. As opposed to many doctors who are, I'm the healer, I'm the one that's doing it, I'm the God. When we finally realize that we're not the one, that's a temporary state of existence. Living in I, in the me, in the ego, that's a really temporary high. That's not the long lasting and enduring fulfillment that we're looking for. That's the illusion.
Wow. Well, all very, very powerful and profound statements. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom. It sounds like you and your husband are definitely in a beautiful place to help a lot of people. I'm
We
so
fought
great.
for it.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for so many other couples who I'm starting to find on this journey. I know that I haven't been alone on on this journey since I've said yes to saying no to my demons and working through my demons and all of that stuff. But now this higher calling as becoming a teacher, now all these different people are coming out. It's almost like you hit a button and all of a sudden all the figures get rearranged and the scenery starts to change.
Yes, and you have to be willing to let go of the things that don't work and don't serve you. You have to be willing to let go of that, and change is scary for a lot of people. So people say to me when they start on this journey, "Oh, I'm losing some friends. Oh, I can't resonate with people that I used to resonate with before. What do I do about that?" And they don't want to lose those relationships, but you can put those relationships on a back burner. Those relationships are, it's not that those relationships are gone and done. It just means that for now they're not walking the path with you. Maybe they will another time, but not to be afraid of the change, to embrace it.
That's so true. I know I've wanted to drag people along with me on this journey, and I'm just so grateful for anyone in my life who's still here that was with me 8 years ago. It's been pretty phenomenal for me just to do my own work and see all the people's lives that I've already changed who've seen
Right.
my
And I
growth.
think you'll see people walk through the door again. That's what I've seen, is that we become a light onto the nations. We become role models. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not here to preach and teach, and just people want to hear from us. Great, they'll connect with us. They don't want to hear from us. I'm not going out there and proselytizing, but the people who really, when something smells yummy, it's yummy. When something doesn't smell yummy, it's not yummy. So people like to connect and are attracted to things that smell yummy. So if someone sees that you're you're vibrating and transforming and living blessings and happiness and purpose, that's very attractive to the soul on the soul level. Like, you might not even be aware up here, like, but subliminally, it's like, something smells yummy. Something smells attractive. I think I might want that. I might want to taste that. So it's just to live it, and we are just going to attract people by default. So that's been exciting to see also.
That's so wonderful. I'm so happy that you used all of your experiences to help other people and to continue to transform your life and impact, I'm sure, quite a few people with your public speaking and now your book.
It's an everyday journey and it's an everyday choice.
I know what you mean. Every day I wake up and I'm just so grateful to be alive because I know you and I both have, definitely experienced a lot of the same traumas. My mom actually had a brain aneurysm at age 52, about 16 years ago.
How's she doing?
She's not alive.
She's not alive.
It took her. And my youngest son was 16, or no, he was just born and he's 16 now. So a lot's happened for me in 16 years that really opened a whole other chapter in my life that started me on this journey, but it's been quite the ride.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, mother
Well,
is a beautiful thing.
right. But I've used all the challenges in my life, like you have, to help me to grow, and I've learned, and I have a lot of compassion for other people and for human suffering, and a lot of compassion for myself and patience, more than I had 16 years ago.
For sure. For sure.
So definitely, um, I'm so grateful to have had this talk with you and been able to share with you today. Is there anything else that you can add or that you'd like to
The one
share?
thing that really nourishes and sustains me, and this is the one thing that I will share with all our viewers, is to connect yourself with like-minded people. This is a journey that none of us can do alone. And the friends and the people in our life who are going to stand for us. And what does that mean to stand for us? That when they see us walking off the path, when they see us not being our best, then they call us on it. We want those people who really care about us to call us on it and say, "Hey, you're not keeping up your word. You're not living to your potential. You're not being the person you said you want to be. So I'm calling you on the carpet on that. Get yourself back on track." Those people in our life are worth more than their weight in gold. So the people that are real and honest and authentic and who are walking this path, keep them tight, keep them close by, because you're going to need them for support. And that's why I keep talking about my group, the Spiritual Women Warrior. I mean, it's a group of amazing women who are walking a path, all coming from all different walks of life, all different challenges, but all understanding that none of us can do this work alone.
That is so true. I have really embraced my friends on this walk with me, and now this year I feel so grateful for those people in my life and all the new people that I have in my life, um, who were just really holding on to each other really tightly this year and our light. And we're not going to the, I call it the dark side.
Yeah, I'm a
We're
great Star Wars fan. I hear you. I hear you.
totally, well, I would love to share all of your information in the description. So if you wouldn't mind to send me the information for your group, if anyone wants to connect with you there, that would be great. And if there's anything else that you want me to share besides your website link and your book title, let me know.
You
And
got it. I'm totally for our viewers. Anybody, I offer. I'll send you the link, Heather. Anybody who wants to download the first three chapters of my book, I offer that complimentary because Anything I can do to help someone get started, I'm all in.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I will share all of that in the description. And thank you everyone for watching today. And much love to you, Anne, and to all of the folks that you have helped with their transformation. And I'm so excited about this new experience that I'm about ready to embark on. And all the people that are watching, we know that you can make that choice in your life. And we know that it may not seem possible, but don't lose hope
Don't
and
lose hope.
don't
As
lose
long
hope.
as you're alive and breathing, there is hope.
Definitely true. Well, please subscribe to my channel, and I will put my information in the link for anyone who would like to get a hold of me for coaching, or I would love to interview other coaches. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
All right. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.